He had spent 3 days rehearsing this moment, pacing back and forth in his small apartment, imagining every possible version of how she might react. Ethan wasn't the kind of man who usually got nervous around people, but something about Lily made him feel like this first date had to be perfect. Except his life wasn't perfect. His finances weren't perfect, and the idea of taking her to a fancy restaurant felt impossible. Still, he didn't want to cancel. Something inside him said she was worth the risk. He stood outside the small-budget diner 10 minutes earlier than planned. The neon sign flickered like it had been refusing to die for decades, and the smell of grilled onions drifted through the air. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't special. But it was the only place he could genuinely afford without pretending to be someone he wasn't. The old-fashioned booths, the black and white checkered floor, and the friendly staff were what made this diner feel like home to him. Tonight, however, he wondered if home would be disappointing for someone like her. When Lily arrived, he nearly forgot how to breathe. She walked with a mix of elegance and ease, a soft smile on her face, completely unaware of the storm of insecurity building inside him. Her simple, floral dress danced lightly with the evening breeze, and she greeted him like she had known him forever. No judgment in her eyes, no pressure, no expectations, just warmth. "You picked this place?" she asked, looking up at the sign. He swallowed. "Yeah, I know it's not fancy. I just thought it might be comfortable." For a second that felt like a lifetime, she said nothing. Then her lips curved into a gentle, grateful smile. "It's perfect." But he didn't believe her. Not yet. People said things like that all the time. He needed to see it in her actions. They walked inside, and the waiter led them to a small booth near the window. The red leather seats squeaked as they sat down. Lily laughed at the squeak, and somehow that laugh eased something inside him. The menu was simple: burgers, fries, milkshakes, and a few old-school comfort meals. Ethan knew it like the back of his hand. "So, what's good here?" she asked, flipping the menu with curiosity. He almost warned her. He almost confessed the whole truth, that this was all he could afford, that he had been laid off 2 months ago, that he was juggling part-time jobs just to stay afloat. But he didn't want pity. Not tonight. Instead, he told her about his favorite burger, the milkshake that always tasted like childhood, and the pie that had won local awards years ago. She smiled, impressed. "You're really passionate about this place." He shrugged. "It's kind of special to me." The waiter came, they ordered, and the conversation began to flow effortlessly. Lily talked about her art, her love for discovering hidden spots in the city, and how she preferred meaningful moments over expensive gestures. Ethan listened closely, wondering if she meant what she said or if it was just polite conversation. When their food arrived, simple plates of diner classics, Lily's eyes lit up. "This looks amazing." She took a bite of the burger and actually closed her eyes. "Wow, okay, this is way better than I expected." Her reaction was real, genuine. It surprised him, but what shocked him even more was how comfortable she seemed. She wasn't pretending. She wasn't performing. She was simply enjoying the moment, with him. As the evening went on, she asked him questions no one else had bothered to ask before. Not about his job or status, but about his passions, his memories, the things that made him who he was. Ethan found himself opening up in ways he never expected. He told her about the diner owner who had given him free meals when he couldn't afford food. He talked about working hard, about trying to rebuild his life, and about how nervous he had been to bring her here today. She listened with the kind of attention that made him feel seen. Really seen. When the bill arrived, Ethan reached for it quickly, hoping she wouldn't notice how carefully he counted the cash he had saved just for tonight. But she did notice, and instead of embarrassment or disappointment, her expression softened. "Ethan, thank you," she said quietly. "For what?" he asked, confused. "For not trying to impress me with things you can't afford. For being real with me. For trusting me enough to bring me somewhere that clearly means something to you." Her words hit him harder than he expected. Most people wanted sparkle. Most people wanted luxury. But she wanted sincerity. Then something happened that truly shocked him. Lily reached into her bag and pulled out a small, folded paper. "I want to show you something," she said. It was a sketch, a drawing of him standing outside the same diner earlier that evening. She had seen him before he saw her. She had watched him fidget nervously, adjusting his shirt, checking his watch. She had seen his vulnerability, and instead of judging it, she captured it in art. "You look like someone who cares," she said softly. "Someone who tries. Someone who doesn't pretend." Ethan stared at the sketch, speechless. No one had ever noticed him like this before. No one had ever appreciated his honesty, his simplicity, his genuine effort. And just as he thought the night couldn't surprise him any further, she added, "I want to come back here with you. Not because it's cheap, but because it feels real. And I think real is rare." In that moment, the weight of his insecurity lifted. She wasn't there for the price of the meal. She wasn't there for status. She was there to know him. They spent another hour talking, laughing, and sharing pie that tasted sweeter simply because she enjoyed it with him. When they walked outside, the cold air wrapped around them, but neither of them felt it. They stood under the flickering diner sign, and for the first time in a long time, Ethan felt hopeful. Before saying goodnight, she stepped closer, her voice soft but sincere. "Next time, let's come earlier. I want to try their pancakes. Next time." That phrase alone warmed him. As she walked away, Ethan realized something deeply unexpected. Her reaction wasn't about the diner at all. It was about the honesty behind it. She valued sincerity over luxury, connection over appearance. And in that simple, budget diner on a quiet street, something far more precious than a fancy dinner had begun. Something real, something promising, something that neither of them saw coming. Sometimes, the most unexpected reactions come from the most genuine hearts. And sometimes, a small diner with flickering lights becomes the beginning of a story far greater than either person imagined.